Hi, welcome to Jen's Daily Dish. Today we're going to be making Japanese milk bread rolls. I can hear a song. Sweet Japanese milk bread rolls. You are so light and fluffy. Fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. Let's get started. The first thing that we're gonna do is make the Tangzhong, which is a Japanese word for a mixture of flour and milk and water. Why are we making the Tangzhong? Because it's going to make the dough much sweeter and softer and fluffier. Basically, we're creating food for the yeast that we're gonna put in the rest of the recipe. This recipe calls for bread flour in particular. Why bread flour and not all-purpose? Well, bread flour has a higher protein count, which is why you see it in a lot of bread recipes, because it just lets the bread expand more and grow more and just make yummier bread. And who doesn't like that? Put your pan or saucepan on low heat. 3 tablespoons water. 3 tablespoons milk. 2 tablespoons bread flour. Stir continually for 3 to 5 minutes. As you can see, it's going to make an ooey gooey paste that the yeast is going to love to eat. Time's up. Take a look. It is a big ball of paste. I'm gonna put it in a bowl and let that get to room temperature. The Tangzhong has cooled. So now, well, first thing what we're gonna do before we make the rest of the dough is to grease a bowl that the dough will sit in. Let's add in all the ingredients. Tangzhong, 2½ cups bread flour, 2 tablespoons dry milk, 1/4 cup sugar, 1 teaspoon salt. To get the party really started, 1 tablespoon yeast, 1/2 cup milk. I am using 2% milk instead of whole milk that the recipe calls for, and it will work out just fine. 1/2 cup milk, 1 large egg, 4 tablespoons melted butter. Mix until a smooth, elastic dough forms. That looks pretty good. Let's take it out and feel it. It should be smooth and elastic. We may have to knead it a little bit by hand, but let's check it out. If it feels dry or looks dry and crumbly, add a little bit of milk, 1 tablespoon at a time. Okay, this feels very wet, and it should feel wet because that means that the yeast can eat and the flour can absorb all of that moisture in here and expand. You can see how oily my hands look, buttery. So this is great. So I'm gonna form it into a ball. I just wanna make sure that it's elastic. It's letting me pull it a little bit. I might just knead it a little bit by hand to get it to an even more elastic place. But you want this dough to feel sticky and wet. Pat into a nice ball. Make sure it's elastic. So if I do that, it should start to come back a little bit. You can see it is slightly. I can feel it, the tension in it. This is good. Put the dough ball in a lightly oiled bowl. We're gonna cover it with plastic wrap and come back in 60 to 90 minutes where it should be very puffy, but not necessarily doubled in bulk. 90 minutes have gone by. Let's take a look. It has puffed up. Take the dough out, gently deflate it, and we're gonna divide it into 8 separate balls and put it into an 8 or 9 inch greased cake pan. Let's roll each of these into a ball. Scramble 1 egg, add 1 tablespoon cold water. Brush the egg wash on top. Cover them with plastic wrap. They'll get puffy. Wait 40 to 50 minutes. And then we're going to put them in the oven. So start thinking about preheating your oven to 350 degrees. 50 minutes has gone by. They're looking puffy. Time for the oven. Into the oven they go. Set your timer for 25 to 30 minutes. Keep an eye on them. They should be golden brown on top, but we're also going to check the temperature of them. 25 minutes has gone by. Let's check them. We're going to check the temperature. It should be 190 degrees in the middle. They're ready to take out. We'll let them cool for 10 minutes, and then we're going to move them to the cookie sheet, and then we're going to try them. Let's remove from the pan and let them cool. Let's try one. It is still warm. They're light and a little sweet and creamy. If a roll can be sweet, light, and creamy, that's what these are. I have to say, they don't feel so light in my hand, but they taste it in my mouth. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Better yet, give it a try. If I can make it, you can too. The first thing that we're going to do is make the Tangzhong.